What's good? This is JVB representing SPD, and that is sportsperdiem.com. The Chicago Bears finally fired Ryan Pace and Matt Nagy. Yes, hallelujah. But Ted Phillips is still the team president. Like they say, the more things that change, the more they stay the same. That is the same situation we have with the Chicago Bears. You do the right thing. You fired Ryan Pace. He didn't deserve to get a promotion. He didn't deserve to stay in this organization. You fired Matt Nagy. Since the 12-4 season, his first season here, he's been average. He's been bad. The offense was trash. He was bad, and he deserved to be fired. But Ted Phillips, yet again, survives it all. This is going to be yet another general manager and head coach that Ted Phillips is a part of. For George McCaskey to go out and say he and Ted Phillips are going to lead the charge. They're going to be the ones to lead the charge and bring in a new head coach and general manager. That's bullshit. You try to be cute and you talk about bringing in Bill Polian for some insight. I like Bill Polian, but Bill Polian is damn near 80 years old. Bill Polian is a Hall of Famer. He's a Hall of Fame mind. But time has passed that man by. But that's the problem. This organization is not innovative. Everything is plain and boring and old-fashioned when it comes to the Chicago Bears organization. Why, oh why, are two non-football minds yet again choosing the general manager and head coach of this franchise? Just as much as Ryan Pace and Matt Nagy has failed, the same thing applies to these guys. These fools have been here forever. Ted Phillips has been here forever. It don't matter if the general manager was Jerry Angelo, Phil Emery, fucking Ryan Pace. It don't matter. All the head coaches, Matt Nagy, John Fox, Mark Trestman, Lovie Smith, Dick Duran, all these guys. Ted Phillips is the one constant. If Ted Phillips was just the finance guy, if he was just looking at finances, team budget, and all that bullshit, okay. But this man is your team president of a $4 billion franchise. And this is how the Chicago Bears franchise treats their fans. There's not one creative bone in George McCaskey or Ted Phillips' body. And they're talking about how this guy and this girl and these people, they're going to help them out in this process. Bullshit. At the end of the day, the people who are going to make the decision is George McCaskey with his sidekick Ted Phillips. George McCaskey, though, he can't admit that he fucked up, that he was wrong yet again. You hire a guy in Ryan Pace who failed. As soon as that Mitch Trubisky pick was made, it was over for Ryan Pace. We talk about it all the time, but Mitch Trubisky was drafted ahead of Deshaun Watson and Patrick Mahomes. That was Ryan Pace's undoing. That was it for him. Yeah, he might have had some nice hits here and there, but overall, Ryan Pace was a failure. Same thing applies to Matt Nagy, who was brought here with Mitch Trubisky in his second season to be the quarterback guru, the offensive genius. Wrong. It was nice in 2018. They were 12-4. They won a division. But guess what? They lost in the very first round of the playoffs. And how did Matt Nagy respond to that? He didn't. Matt Nagy didn't change a damn thing. That's why the Bears were 8-8, 8-8, and 6-11 this season. And that's why he doesn't have a job right now. There was so much bad with Matt Nagy. He wasn't a good offensive coordinator. He wasn't a good quarterback guru. He wasn't a good offensive mind. And he wasn't a good head coach. Yes, when it came to motivating guys, he did a good job. But at the end of the day, it's not about friendship. It's not about saying, oh, it's okay, we got him next time. No, it's not. You have to hold these players accountable, because when you don't, when they look at you as a friend, that's how they treat you. They don't treat you like the head coach. They treat you like a buddy. That's why this team was so undisciplined. That's why this team was so unorganized. You see guys getting personal fouls. You seeing guys having offsides and encroachments. Guys getting kicked out of games because they dumb as hell and they punching guys with helmets on. All those things go right back to Matt Nagy. This franchise is never going to get out their own damn way. Now they're saying that if they found a head coach who they thought was the right guy, they were going to bring them in even if they didn't have a general manager. That doesn't make sense. Start from the top and work your way down. Bring in a GM, have them choose the head coach that they want. And why are you trying to hire the head coach anyway? You don't know nothing about football. And this guy, George McCaskey, has the audacity to put Olin Kreutz on blast. I believe Olin Kreutz. I believe that story. Because this franchise, this is what they do. They've been lying to our faces for decades. So I'm not putting it past them that they lied in this situation as well. Ted Phillips is still the team president. Yes, you fired Ryan Pace. Yes, you fired Matt Nagy. Good job. But you keep this guy. And not only do you keep him, but you keep him in as the team's president. You basically telling all the Bears fans, we don't give a fuck what you think. We don't care what you think. The culture of this franchise needs to change. There needs to be a modern, up-to-date, innovative feel for this franchise. And whoever the head coach is, whoever the GM is, they need to hold players and staff accountable. If a guy like Jalen Johnson is just going to walk away from the receiver without touching him down, chew his ass out and keep him on the bench for a while, if not the rest of the game. When guys have stupid personal fouls that cost their team because they selfish, put their ass on the bench. This is not a league for nice guys. As an NFL head coach, you have to be tough. This ain't the fucking YMCA. These guys are making millions of dollars. Like Mike Singletary said back in the day, I want winners. This team needs to get tougher, but smarter and more organized and disciplined. There's some pieces on this team, defensively and offensively. I talked about Jalen Johnson and that silly mistake he made again, but he's a core guy. Roquan Smith and Robert Quinn, absolutely core guys on that defense. Khalil Mack is still under contract, and I personally still view him as a difference maker. Offensively, you got some young guys, including at the quarterback position. We don't know how great Justin Fields is going to be. He didn't have a great rookie season because he didn't have a lot to work with neither. You got Justin Fields, you got David Montgomery and Khalil Herbert at the running back position. You have a young wide receiver in Darnell Mooney who, despite the team's success or lack thereof on the offense, he had a pretty nice season. They need to look at the offensive line as well and figure out who's going to stay and who's going to go and where they're going to play. On the defensive side, the group that needs the most improvement is the secondary. I don't know if that's going to be by releasing them or finding somebody that's going to trade for them, but Eddie Jackson needs to be gone next season. Eddie Jackson did not live up to those first couple of seasons. He did not live up to that contract extension. But there's going to be a lot of change on this team. A lot of these veterans, a lot of these great players or once great players, they got to go. There's pieces on this team for this team to make a quick turnaround. I really believe that. But it's hard to think about that when George McCaskey and Ted Phillips are the guys who are going to be involved in this. They're the guys in charge of bringing in the GM and bringing in the head coach to lead this team. I really don't know how they're going to correct it, but we'll see what happens. But I'm out. Like the video and share the video. And do not forget to subscribe to the channel. Until next time, take it easy. God bless. Peace.